Professorplum posted this over at DU this morning, and I thought it was so well said that, I with attribution to Professor Plum at Democratic Underground, I just wanted to share this with you. He writes, and I'm assuming it's a he, there's a male picture here. When are we ever, as a people, going to start to try to make this country less miserable and a happier place to live? We slave away with little or no vacation. We pay the equivalent of the cost of a very expensive new car for every kid's education, or the cost of a house, depending on where they go to college. Our economic lives are ruined if we get sick. Our rich commit crimes with no consequence. And our corporations write the rules that govern our daily existence. Meanwhile, in France, Germany, Scandinavia, many other places, people are much more free to pursue their happiness, to raise their families. They have excellent educations, and simply exist without having to go begging to their corporate overlords at every turn. The slavery mindset, in fact, apropos of that, I had a driver this morning who was, driving with Uber, and he was telling me how he's, and he wasn't like soliciting me. It wasn't one of those kind of things, but we got talking about life in America and how things are. And he was telling me how he had to put together a GoFundMe page to help pay for his kids. He's got, some problems in the family and like that. And he was explaining it to me. But it's like, we shouldn't live in a country where people have to put up GoFundMe pages. There's just something fundamentally wrong about that. Okay, so, our kids' education. If we get sick, our rich commit crimes with no consequence. Our corporations write the rules that govern our daily existence. Meanwhile, in France, Germany, Scandinavia, and many other places, people are much more free to pursue their happiness, raise their families, have excellent educations, and simply exist without having to go begging to their corporate overlords at every turn. The slavery mindset that is this country's original sin has never left our bloodstream, writes Professor Plum. From the desire for cheap/free/forced labor that fires every worker's imagination to the servile mentality of our workers. He says, come on, let's stand up on our hind legs and demand better. The humans and the pigs are getting harder and harder to tell apart. I'm guessing that's a reference to Animal Farm, to George Orwell. But there are so much, this goes back to Michael Moore's movie. If you haven't seen Michael Moore's movie, Where to Invade Next, go and take everybody you know. And I hope soon he puts that thing on Netflix or figures out some kind of web distribution for people to see it, because he travels all over the world and says, what are they doing right that we can do? And he finds all these incredible things that countries are doing right. And it turns out almost all of them were invented here.
To watch more clips from our programs, hit the Watch More Videos button over here. And please be sure to hit the handy dandy subscribe button so you'll always be up to date. Tag, you're it.